Shalom, call all Yahweh Shin Yahushua. You got more prophecies happening around Babylon, more prophecies happening around the earth. Now, if you look at the news, if you ain't been paying attention, you should be paying attention because all this what the scriptures mention, it's coming to pass right now. Let me look this up. Hold on 1 minute. It's in the book of Isaiah 54, chapter 16. Verse 16. So like it says, behold, which I know this by heart, but I just want to just pull this up because of what's been going on. That's how you see you got Russia over there in Saudi Arabia. Now the U.S. military is just supposedly sending the troops over there in military equipment, and now you got Russia's president Putin over there shaking hands and exchanging gifts, which all through the spirit, that ain't nothing but a set up any fucking way. Because you got the elites back in this. Like if you look at the recent video that I made, and they talk about the black nobility of the black aristocracy, I should say, and how they control stuff from behind the scenes. They've been doing it for the last 500 years. The so-called elites, the Oppenheimers and the DuPonts and the Gettysburgs and the Bilderbergs and all them different families, the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers. They've been pulling these strings and making certain stuff happen. So it seems like people warring on the outside surface. Ultimately, they're behind the scenes trying to bring in their new world order. Now, this in the book of Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 16. It says, "Behold, I have created a smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created a waster to destroy." Now, these devils, they got all this equipment because Yahweh Shem Yahushua allowed them to create this. Like they come up with these so-called great inventions. And Yahweh's the ultimate creator. This is just a little trickle down of what he created. You got submarines and stuff like this. Hey, when you look at the scriptures, you say, when you read the book of Zechariah and say, "Behold, I see a flying roll." Hey, it's just a trickle down of the technology that Yahweh Shem Yahushua got, man. Just on a low level. Submarine look like a flying roll also too. But see, the angels, they actually flying them ships. They can go in the water, they can be in the air, or go through dimensions, or wherever they want to go at. But the main point is, what you see in the news, Russia tests its nuclear triad in a major missile exercise. Now, let me go to this one scripture in the book of Revelation. It says, in 1 hour, great riches are brought to naught. Because you have people that still, to this day, believe that the noose is not biblical. Well, it's been proven, and it's been documented that it takes at least 30 minutes for them nukes to come from one side of the earth to the other, and ultimately from over there in Russia, China, whatever other area, Iran, these different nations that got these nukes, they want to shoot them over here on this place, because ultimately that's what's going to happen. Now it says in the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 7, it said for, let me go down to it in the actual King James translation. It says, "For in 1 hour so great riches has come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company and ships and sailors, and as many as trade by sea stood afar off." Now let me pull this image up, because you have niggas that still want to be simple and talk about America and Babylon. And you got this bug out talking about evolving masculinity. Niggas bugging. Ain't got nothing to do with no masculinity. Where your beard at? That's masculinity, having a beard. You look at all the ancient prophets and the warriors and all that. Back in the ancient times, we wore beards, and that's why you see a lot of young men now growing their hair out, their facial hair, their beards and stuff like that, because we coming back into that natural state that we supposed to be in, that royal ruler warrior mentality. not this fucking pussy nigga shit. But anyway, I just happened to see that when I looked over here. Let me pull this up. Now America got shipping ports. Let me go to the images. We got shipping ports all over. Let it be. You can't make this shit up. Now look, from the Gulf to the East Coast, so-called First Coast down there. You know they call it Florida area First Coast. Then you got the East Coast, and you got the Gulf Coast, and they ship on the West Coast too. But a lot of stuff been happening out there on the West Coast, so they've been changing the routes. Now, look at this. Look what the scripture says. It says, "For in 1 hour, so great riches has come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company of ships and sailors, and as many as trade by sea, stood afar off." Who do the most trading by the sea? Ports of America. New Orleans, Louisiana port. Oakland ports. You got ports by Georgia and all that. Man, you can't make this shit up, man. This ain't no made up fairy tale. Like this one brother at my job, he came to me. You know what he came to me and showed me? He showed me a video about the RFID chip. So you got some of these niggas, they want to play games and act like the RFID chip ain't the mark of the beast. And I was telling him, I was like, man, this is how you know the scriptures got to be real. If John the Baptist had a revelation about this mark going in people's hand over 2,000 years ago, and it's coming to pass now, the scriptures got to be real. Ain't no way around it. But you have people who want to be simple, and you know what? And I be saying that it can't even knock it for being simple, because you got the elect that actually can see all this plain as day, like the scriptures say. It's plain, the Lord's ways, the Most High's ways are plain unto the holy, but stumbling blocks to the wicked. So if it's a stumbling block to niggas, they can't see that RFID chip is the actual chip, and that nukes is actually mentioned in the scriptures, and that America is actually Babylon when they talk about what happened in the 1 hour in the Book of Revelation. Hey, they gotta be some wicked ass niggas, because that's a stumbling block to them. But the holy man that's meant to see this is gonna see this though. Y'all look at all these docks, man. Shipping ports, U.S. All this in the U.S. Now let's go to Rome, because I heard somebody say something about Rome being Rome shipping ports. Rome got a port or two, but is they the main place to do the most trade in the world? No, fuck no. So that's why all these other merchants and these ship masters who travel by ship and sailors, they gonna see this. They gonna be, oh shit, because everybody ain't gonna get hit with them nukes. There's gonna be people that actually be able to live and see what happened from afar. They're gonna be shook up. They're gonna wonder what's happening next. You're gonna have some of the other nations. They're gonna think they're gonna be the next to rule and all that. They, and the scripture said the saints should take the kingdom, so they ain't gonna be able to fucking rule. They ain't gonna be doing none of that stuff they think they finna do. Let me let this play. I'm gonna go into some more stuff too. Hey, that's what people gonna see right there. Hey, let me go in on that. You gonna hear that alert? You know, of course, we're going with our everyday lives right now. You know, we working, doing all type of other little shit. But the main thing that's really serious right now, what really matters, is this shit right here. Because they ain't got this shit aimed at Australia. They ain't got this shit aimed at Mexico. They ain't got this shit aimed at England. They ain't got this shit aimed at Hawaii. They got this shit aimed over here at America. Like Bush say, America. That's what it's aimed at over here. So when you hear them alerts go off, and this is not a test, broadcasting, Russia has just launched nuclear missiles. Iran has just launched nuclear missiles. China just launched nuclear missiles. England just launched nuclear missiles. Germany just launched nuclear missiles. Saudi Arabia just launched nuclear missiles. Oh, Japan just launched nuclear missiles. North Korea just launched nuclear missiles. You're gonna look up, you're gonna see shit like this flying around. We run that back. But it's gonna be in a greater multitude. Though. Ain't gonna just gonna be no one of them. And this is what it's talking about. It's talking about bending the bow and don't spare her, because America is known as a female. It's a real feminine vibration on America. They got all this feminine shit going on, feminism and putting the women first and all that other bullshit. That's why America is known as the great whore, the great harlot, or the mother of all harlots. It says in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 14, it says, put yourself in array against Babylon all around. You see how I showed all the ports on there all around, West Coast, Gulf Coast, East Coast. Hey, because these militaries, like China and Japan and shit like that, they got submarines and shit. It's right on the West Coast at a certain distance. Russia, they got their shit out there. In the Gulf Coast, they just signed, if you ain't been paying attention to the news, look it up. I ain't just making this up. Go research this stuff. The guy, Putin, and the Cuban president just made a deal so they can have nuclear plants down there. And you know what they do in them nuclear plants. They ain't just down there making cars and shit. On the East Coast, you got these other nations, they putting their subs out there and their ships out there. It says in Jeremiah 50 and 14, it said, put yourself in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she has sinned against the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And just another clarification that this scripture is talking about nukes. What's another term for missing nukes? Broken arrow. It says, you see, it says, refers to an accidental event that involves nuclear weapons, warheads, or components that does not create a risk of nuclear war. Accidental or unexplained nuclear detonation, non-nuclear detonation, or burning of a nuclear weapon. Now that's just the nickname for that. But these arrows, these ain't gonna be no broken arrows. These gonna be some fixed arrows. That's why I say, hey, put yourself in the rear against Babylon round about. All you that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she has sinned against the Lord Yahweh Yahushua. And man, you can't make this shit up, man. Like I said, this ain't nothing made up. Like the scripture says, this is not a private interpretation. This is not of man. If this was of man, it would come to naught. This stuff being fulfilled, man, every day, man. Every time you look on the news, let me go back real quick. Every time you look on the news, there's something going on. You got peace talks. Said Russia pulls U.S. diplomats out trained near site of recent blast. And you know they're feeling humiliated. They're supposed to be the superpower. And you got Putin parading around with his military going hard. So what Yahweh Hashem Yahushua finna do? He finna turn these heathen against each other and gather them in the valley of Jehoshaphat and Yahweh Shaphat and cast judgment on the military in one little clean little swoop. me go to this other video. I'm going to end this off with this last little scripture. I don't want to make this too long. So I'm going to get into this. Because there's some serious stuff, man. That's all you see, man. Peace talks. Oh, here you go right here. U.S. Turkey agreed to temporary ceasefire in Syria.
News conference shortly with Vice President Pence and Secretary Pompeo. Thank you to President Erdogan. Millions of lives will be saved. Let's bring in Patty Cohen. She's joining us from Washington. And listening to the Vice President speak in Ankara, he seemed to be crediting the ceasefire to the strong relationship Turkey and the United States have, and also the strong relationship between the two presidents, Erdogan and Trump. Patty, talk us through what you heard during that press conference out of Ankara.
Yeah, there is a whole lot to unpack here. So let's take a look at what the vice president is saying. He is saying that Turkey has agreed to stop its offensive because it's
Betty, I'm going to end this off with two more scriptures. This scripture and another one after this. We talk about the frauds going out in the kings of the earth. Now it says, and this one right here in the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3. It says, for when they should say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they should not escape. And they talking about the safe zone and all this shit. This was gonna happen though. Let me go to that scripture real quick. It's in the book of Revelation, chapter 16. I'm going to start at verse 13. I'm going to read down. I'm going to end this up. It says, and I saw three unclean spirits that looked like frogs coming out of the mouths of the dragon, the beast, and the false prophet. These are demonic spirits that perform signs and go out to all the kings of the earth to assemble them for battle on the great day of Yahweh, the Almighty. Now, hey, that's what's going on right here. Like I said, man, you can't make this up.
It wanted to get.
Most High can put these leaders, these Turkish leaders, Syrian leaders, Iranian leaders, Benjamin, Netanyahu, all these different little leaders. He gonna put the spirit on them, and they gonna gather over here in the valley of Jehoshaphat. Cause hey, Yahweh Shah control the spirits, man. These devils, they don't control shit. It just seems like it if you ain't spiritual, and you ain't looking all the way down to the root of what's really going on. So that's all I want to bring out on this, and I'll make something else, Lord's willing. And Lord's willing, this is edifying. Call Lord Yahweh, Shalom to the elect. Stay alert, stay paying attention to the news. You got prophecies happening every day, man. The weather trippy. You got signs in the heavens. They just talking about the asteroid just passed yesterday, and they ain't even mentioned it until like last minute. So there's all type of stuff, man. All type of signs showing. In the heavens, the earth, you got earthquakes in diverse places, wars and rumors of wars. So the prophecy is speaking loud and clear, man. If you can't see it, man, hey, you better pray for a faith booster. You better pray Yahweh Shah put the spirit on you so you can actually see what's really going on. Not this bullshit. That's why you keep coming out with all these phones and all this other dumbass shit. Keep people distracted. While they looking down, you got asteroids floating around. Fucking missiles getting shot off and tested and shit. The chariots flying. Shalom.